Hello, this is dewtroid, and I am back with more Project Nosecone. Looks like we left off with Nosecone Grandma, which is like Nosecone Gamma, only older and more dignified and makes delicious cookies. I wanted to test out some of the other engines because I think I'm in the actual high mass delivery and release is not too much problem. Like these things, they're heavy. Where's the Nosecones? Nosecones are under aerodynamic. I mean, they have a mass of 0.4. Oh, someone said there was actually a science Nosecone over here. Where is it? Actually, it's a docking port. Where's my science Nosecone? Oh, it's under science. But it's too small, I think, to be classified as a true giant Nosecone that needs to be delivered into orbit. As I was saying, I wanted to try experiment with different lift types because there's this rapier engine which I haven't tried yet. It doesn't have that much thrust, but it says it's some kind of hybrid engine, which to me indicates that it's like a jet engine rocket combo, and that means that it will have a very low effect or a very good effectiveness low to the ground, but as it gets to where the air gets thinner, it will actually drop in effectiveness, and I kind of want to give that a test. Now this is nowhere near enough thrust to get this off the ground as it is, but if we were to couple some guys together, because it also looks like this is relatively fuel efficient. Where is it? Again, propulsion. Or button info, let's see, liquid fuel 5 units per second, oxidizer 6 units per second, so I'm at under 10%. And then actually, is it classified as two separate engines? I think it is. Air intake 4 units per second, liquid fuel 0.3 units per second. Which is very efficient compared to this one, which is 49 to 60 units per second. I don't know what those units are. They're liters, milliliters, Kerbin liters. It's the tri-adapter. Where's the quad adapter? XX. There we go. I don't even know if this is the right direction, but let's give this a try. See if we have enough thrust, enough thirst. Is there enough thirst to get this off the ground? Sass engage. Oh. Well, apparently my... Oh wow, these things like to overheat. So we might need to space them out a little bit. Come on, there's got to be an ideal position. It's actually not bad. I mean, you didn't make it very high, but there are other reasons for that. But obviously having them in this 4-cylinder configuration is a problem. Did I save this as a stack? If I did, it would have been this stack. Yeah, I did save that as a stack. And these do nothing. Grab those. Come on. Okay. We'll just start a new one. For our next platform. What's the next Greek letter? Epsilon. No, delta. Delta's the next letter. Nosecone delete. Okay, we're going to need a cockpit. And we are going to need some kind of large heavy lift structure, which I'm going to start on. First, we're going to have a central fuselage of those. Well, we need SAS module, decoupler, actually I'm going to put a small engine in here, or one of those small fuel canisters. Propulsion, which, how much does this fuel tank weigh? Mass 9, that's a much smaller one. Mass 1.25. Oscar B fuel tank is tiny. This is a Rockomax fuel tank. This is probably the smallest Rockomax fuel tank there is. And we'll put one of those low draw aerospike. No, something big enough. Rockomax, why'd you make something small? We're gonna couple you. Actually, we're gonna put some fins on you. Yeah, fins. Fins are great. Yeah. Advanced canards. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. There we go. We want the decoupler under structural. And now we're going to need the central core, which is going to be jumbo fuel tank. Structural pylon, small hard point. That's too big. Crash tolerance 10 meters per second. Stack separator. Let's find something interesting. That's a large stack separator. No fuel crossfade. Crash tolerance 9 meters per second. Mass 0.45. What about the Rockomax one? How does mass 0.4, 9 meters per second, no fuel crossfade, ejection force 250. This is a higher ejection force, but that's not really necessary for what we're doing. That's probably not going to hold. It needs to be something super sturdy. I don't even know what this thing is. Modular girder. You'll see what I have in mind pretty soon. I believe I have it lined up appropriately. We'll find out pretty quickly. Structural propulsion. Back up. Come on. You know you want to be out on top of one of those guys. Wait. That is totally not. These are too long. Can't really... Actually, that may be something I can do to get it to work. There's a shift button that allows me to... Oh. Which one will allow me to shift these guys up? I need to look up the controls again. KSP, shortcuts. Key bindings, whatever. Come on. Pitch adjustment. Wait, no. Equal assembly building. Rotate parts backwards. Is there one that pushes them up? W. Apparently there isn't. Okay, well, we'll do this a different way then. We will probably need one of these anyway. We'll add a third one here. And then line them up on that guy. First step I want to see is if this completely collapses under its own weight. In fact, it seems to be absurdly sturdy. That's good. And also completely ridiculous, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, so... Actually, since this was hard enough to build, I think I actually may want to save this as a stack for now. We'll just call this fuel stack. Because that's something that may, if I need more lift, I can stack on top of it. Okay, engines. What kind of engines are we going to put on this guy? Well, first let's just try... These aren't all going to be cross-fueled. Let's try that in a pair of 2s and see if it still overheats. Where was that interesting engine? One of these will let me put it in there. There we go. That works. And yes, I know right now the center fuel module has nothing connected. And also there's no nose cones on this thing yet. We're starting to get a little wobbly. Haha! You can do it, guys! You can make it! I probably shouldn't be doing that. New sass. New bam. Okay. How about we try suspending this not on our rockets, but on the, yeah. Can we put these guys in the center safely? We can. See if this changes the dynamic at all, if it's too heavy and those girders start to bend. They do. So they're not as structurally sound as I had hoped. Oh, this game. Alright, well, since we're mostly dealing with this as a primary ignition phase, I think we need more maximum power. Wait, that's not the right rocket motor. I want the mainsail gas guzzler. Max thrust 1500. And it's the gas guzzler, alright. This is... I wonder if... There's probably a chart that shows me, like, the most efficient engines. And this is probably one of the least efficient engines. But Jamie want Big Boom. No, Jamie's not my name. I'd be okay with it if it was, though. It's not a bad name. Yeah, these are far more... Let's try this again with launching immediately. We're gonna have to probably put some cross struts in or something. I'm curious what's actually causing the seeming harmonic resonance of all of this. Are we gonna need it everywhere or just... When in doubt, support. How much do these weigh anyway? Oh, they're pretty light. I mean, not like those struts that I can put in, but I've had those break all the time. You're still wobbling. You know, I don't think those are actually attached to anything. That might be the problem. That they didn't engage the other side, because look at that. Okay. Settings, revert to vehicle assembly. So these here are actually not attached at all. Well, only to the one side that they're on. Which is unfortunate, which means I will have to use these stupid struts. I don't like them because they're hard to get like perfectly symmetrical. Let's see if this thing is still wobbly. Do not like. Lack of fuel. Oh yeah, this rocket can totally make it into orbit. It can do it with infinite nose cones. Actually, what's the... is it backspace? There's a button that... X. X cuts all throttle. Actually, wait, which way do I need to turn to be... We'll just sort of lock ourselves in around there. Wait until we get close to... here, basically. Maximum thrust, my dears. And then it's 0x. I don't remember what button actually did that. Actually, I may not have enough fuel to reach a true orbit. I burned up a lot on the initial thrust. That's a very high one there. I'm also aiming slightly higher than I really should, but I should be like threading this 90-degree line perfectly. Ran out of fuel. Again, I think this rocket could definitely make it in a true orbit, but now we need to put Nosecones on it. And make it more stable. I don't like the wobbly, which means I may need to change how my stacks are stacked. There really isn't much detail on the strength of these, is there? I could always use the, where's the aerodynamic shit? These, like, wing connectors are pretty sturdy. And they're not that heavy, either. At least they used to be pretty sturdy. I don't know if they have adjusted those downward at all. Small hard point. Structural pylon. And also most of the wing pieces are cross-fuel capable, I think. Let's give this a shirt. Let's get towards the center a little more. Propulsion. Jimbo fuel tank. And we will fill you up with main cell engines like before. We'll put the structural doohickey in place. Don't need that many. There we go. Actually, we will put another main cell engine down there. There we go. Let's see how this does in terms of stability. A little wobbly. I may need something between those guys. Oh, that's gonna shear off. Those are pretty strong though, the fact that they haven't sheared off yet. You're going off course, buddy. Apparently my rocket is fast. Okay, We can cut our engines. And now we can coast to 90 degrees or so in whatever orientation are we in. Come on. Disengage SAS. Turn. Yeah, let's re-engage SAS here. Let's actually give ourselves a little fuel so SAS can actually work. Okay. Let's try and thread that 90-degree line. And poof. Not bad at all. Close enough. Where are we? We are at... We're at a punchable altitude. Let's make sure that we are better on target for our SAS thingy. And increase throttle. Yeah, this one's definitely going to make a complete orbit. Z or X, I don't remember anymore. I'm just gonna press them both at the same time and see what happens. So what we want is for the closest point to be above, I think, 70,000 meters. Which is this one here. It's not gonna be the prettiest orbit, but it looks like we're going to make it. Actually, we may actually have a chance of intercepting the Mun here. There we go. So that's a stable orbit. Not exactly pretty. Ideally, I should have come back and corrected this more this way. Oh, and I'm almost entirely out of fuel. This will go on in space forever and ever. Unfortunately, there are no Nosecones. Oh well. Revert flight. Vehicle launch assembly. So this was still wobbly, and that actually cost us a lot of control. Now, does this stay wobbly? If, oops, not what I wanted to disconnect, actually. That's interesting. Let's save this as a temporary stack. Stack 4. Has a stack coupler on it, I believe. I did that right. So, bam. Okay, we gotta make sure these engines engage in the right order then. We've got you, then we've got 7 decouplers. Where's that one? That one's in the wrong stack. And there's no need for you. And then we need to stabilize this MFer. We're probably gonna have to use those stupid struts. Or maybe if we have the Nosecone adaptation or Nosecone rocket plug thing on top of the fuel canisters. Well, no, because then they'd have to decouple, which is fine, I guess. Okay. Let's watch this fall over first. Or be so heavy that it cracks the couplers. Okay, I'm getting kittied right now. Hey, baby. That's basically what I expected. Isn't that right, Bob? Well. Okay. There used to be an end flight button there. So you can actually see what failed first without fully ending the flight. Looks like these structural units just completely failed. Let's try adding these to the outside up here to see if that changes the weight equation at all. I don't think those are attached anymore. Or in fact, they may not be attached at all. That could be the problem. Because that one's holding. By that one, I mean the one in the center, because I don't think you can see my mouse. That one's holding. Oh, well. Is that stuck in air? That's stuck in midair. Anyway, I think this is a good time to end this episode. I will see you all next time. Hurts.